make yourself more. Because you have literally dumped all the rubbish and responsibility, difficulties, everything on them, and you exalted yourself. That's the basic structure of how you have predominantly walked through your life. Now, at the moment, as the manifested consequences of that accepted and allowed behavior, you're currently in a situation where you've got no way out. You're now facing a difficult situation in your world, in your reality. What is very interesting is that there's no one that you can shove your responsibility on, push blame upon. You are attempting to and trying to do it with your wife. But that's not working very well because she's not accepting and allowing that. And if you have a look, she's very fascinating because she's the first person in your entire life that's kind of standing up against you in a way. Look at all the previous people were very submissive, quiet, silent, would slowly but surely kind of just fade away out of your life. But she's coming in and she's saying, I will not accept and allow myself to be treated in this way by you. Have a look.
Yeah, that perfect sense.
You've tried to subtly exert emotions and feelings towards her in relation to trying to blame her for certain things, experiences, which would have usually worked with the previous people in your world, wherein they would just accept it, your moaning and your groaning and all those type of things, and then eventually get tired of it and walk away, which is the method you use to excavate them from your world and your reality when you didn't want them anymore, when you wanted them to take away all your rubbish for you, all your responsibility, so that you can start again and renew yourself and exalt yourself and start a new experience. But this time you were trying to do that, and what did she do? She said, no, I'm not accepting this behavior, or you blaming me, or you trying to exert your emotions and feelings out on me. She's standing up.
Cool.
Have you noticed that?
Yes, but I still find ways to look.
She reacts to you, of course. Meaning you've maneuvered yourself in such a way where you can know what buttons to push with her. But in most cases, she stands up to you, meaning it's like she says, no, I do not accept this behavior, type thing. If you, once we're done with this interview, we suggest you go back in your life and you have a look at how different your current wife is to all people in your world, in your reality, that's ever been in your life before. She's completely different.
Because the other people I could walk away, or they will walk away. From here, I don't want to walk away.
But also, no, there is a part of you that tried to walk away. But she didn't allow that. So
I'm grateful for that.
What we're saying is, you've got to, once we're done with this interview, we suggest you go and have a look at your life for yourself. We'll retake it up and again in the next interview we do, that you have a look at how different your current wife is to all other people that's been in your life before. She's standing up.
She's very tough.
Yes. The other people weren't. They simply accepted your manipulation. She's not. Which is making your situation a lot more difficult at the moment. Previously, you could just scrape off, dump everything on everyone else, say it's everyone else's fault, blame everyone else, turn around, write them off, and you simply walk your new life ahead by yourself for yourself. Whereas now, that plan of action with your new wife is not working anymore. Therefore, your whole problem has inverted into and inside yourself, where you now became the one that's becoming introverted, extracting, trying to slowly but surely dissipate and disappear. Meaning, what your wife is showing you is what is your experience at the moment is how you have actually, in fact, treated everyone else within your reality. So with your wife at the moment, the tables are turning. You're now equal in one, experiencing what you accept and allowed to have been done unto others.
Tough.
Yes. The wife you're with at the moment is going to be your point of whether you're going to stand and face yourself, or whether you're going to go into another 10, 20-year cycle, which would mean whether you're going to make this process or not is going to be about who you are here in this moment in relationship with your wife, which is you. You're now in the relationship where you're actually facing you for the first time for real. If you walk away from this, you're walking away from you. Does that make sense?
Yes, indeed.
This is what this relationship is representing. This is what she's representing. That's why it does feel like this relationship is a lot more tougher, a lot more difficult, and a lot more effort. Because you're in the works and the dynamics of facing you. In fact.
What I did to others, I am facing through her.
Yes. It's not like she's doing what you did to others at all. She's not taking in that role, no.
Okay.
She's just your turning point, meaning she's now where your tables are turning. She's representing that. She's got no part in it. It's just what she's representing at the moment. She's not doing anything to you.
Okay.
You must be very careful. You've got a tendency of thinking or believing that something and or someone is doing something to you. That's justification, that's blame, and that's hiding self-responsibility. Anton, you must realize no one is doing anything to you. Everything you experience inside yourself and your world, you are doing. Makes sense?
Profound. I mean, yes, indeed.
Be very, very careful, because your mind is set up in an interesting way. You will find and look for words and phrases and sentences and things like that that would justify or validate or manifest or create or stand within your position of what you want. Okay? So be very careful within these interviews that you don't try and find points of blame or hiding of responsibility in relation to yourself. Remember, this is about you, Anton. You and you alone. We're simply, through using your wife as a point of reference, showing you where you are in your process at the moment and what you're facing. Okay?
Understand.
You're now facing yourself. Your wife is in fact assisting and supporting you. Alright.
How is the child? Same thing, I guess. The boy, the child.
He's not yet playing a role as much. It's at the moment only you. Okay? Within the next interview, so we'll leave it there for now. Within the next interview, we'll go into detail, for example, in how you're able to assist and support yourself within how you are currently existing through your mind consciousness system, so that you can stop the blame, stop trying to look for points of blame, trying to stop looking for places to hide self-responsibility, so you can start standing up and taking accountability of what you've accepted and allowed yourself to become, both within and without. So you can walk through your manifested consequence and accordingly not recreate the time loops and cycles. Makes sense?
Yeah.
Alright. So within this interview, what we've covered is the primary platform in relation to how you're existing through your mind consciousness system and your thoughts, the consequences of that in relation to you and the people in your world. So we can, within these interviews, you can start being grateful for yourself and through that for others, so that you can realize that people aren't just there to pick up your mess. You've got to pick up your own mess. You've got to clean up after yourself. Makes sense?
Yeah.
We're going to be very direct with you.
Oh, definitely. Please do.
Because you require realizing that you require being that direct with yourself. Meaning it's time to now get straight to the point, be direct, get it done. Makes sense?
Yes.
No time wasting with blaming, shoving responsibility, looking for blame, hiding, lying, deceiving, manipulating. It's a mess. And it's going to catch up with you sooner or later. Where you're going to be at a point where you're alone with yourself, where there will be no one and nothing in your reality but yourself. So instead of you taking yourself to that point,
I better walk with this.
Walk with you here immediately in the moment. Realize that you are responsible for yourself. You don't need to take yourself to a point in this reality where you physically have to get yourself to a point where you're alone with yourself and realize, but shit, I'm responsible for myself.
If you're alone, I am responsible for myself.
If I want to live or die, it's up to me. And it's always like that, no matter whether you're with people or not. The decision of whether you're going to make this life a life of living or not is up to you always. It's not up to other people. It's not dependent on other people, and it's not about where you are, what you're doing. It's about who you are. Makes sense?
Yes.
Right, so in the next interview we'll go more into detail about how you work inside your thoughts, what you must stop and what you must look out for. Right, and the consequences of your current living existence as the design of your mind consciousness system you've created. Clear?
Clear. Thank you so much.
Good.